My name's Troy Nanfelt. I was born in Brockton, Massachusetts, but grew up in Lakeville, Massachusetts. My family's been in the seafood business for 4 generations. My siblings and I will be the 4th generation. It started back in the early 60s, maybe late 50s with my great-grandfather, Alfred. He grew up in New Jersey. He went door to door selling seafood, cutting it in his garage. And as things started to kind of grow for him, he moved his family to New Bedford because that's where all the fish was at the time. And from then, my grandfather, Ronald Nanfelt, he took over the business and really took it to the next level. He was the first person in this area to bring Alaskan cod and start processing it with machines. So the volume that he was doing back then was substantial and a lot more than what people were used to seeing. So he got into a lot of supermarkets and big chains, and that was kind of the foundation of Kyler Seafood. Through the 80s and 90s, that was our main focus, and then when my father took over the business, the market kind of shifted from large chains and grocery stores to more retail. And so my dad built Kyler's Catch, and it's been very successful. It's built a great reputation, and it's become the main focus of our business. As far back as I can remember, watching my dad go to work early in the morning and taking care of the business. It was always something I was interested in. Even through high school, I started working there actually back in 8th grade. I think I was 12 or 13 years old, working summers just a couple days a week just to kind of see what it was all about, right? And then, working summers through high school, I just knew right away that it was something I always wanted to take over and get into myself. So there was really never a debate in my head or really any second guesses. So after high school, I decided to go to college at Babson, and it was a great experience. I got to learn a lot about business, family business, different ways that I could approach the business from a higher level than just what I learned in the retail store. So, but having both, the experience of working in the retail store, side by side with guys, learning the products, learning the process, to learning in school for 4 years and then coming back and having my own kind of position that I could focus on, which was the restaurant, the direct delivery to restaurant division. It was a really nice setup, but at the time, the way we got into the restaurant was actually, I have to give my dad credit. He took a chance and basically purchased a delivery route from a friend of ours to kind of get us into it. And at the time, we didn't know if it was going to work, but I just came to work every day and worked hard at it, and it grew a lot faster than we thought. And when it did, I knew I was going to need help. I'm lucky that I have my brother who came in to help me after just a couple years of getting it started. He's been by my side, and the entire team at Kyler's. So that's kind of where we are today with everything, So we're still doing wholesale. We're still wholesaling across the country. So we're still nationwide, but locally we're kind of known for our retail store and business with local restaurants. So some people may think we own our own fishing boats. That's a whole nother business we haven't gotten into. We'll leave that up to the fishermen. They go through a lot to get fish just from the ocean to land, right? We take it all from there. We buy from several local auctions daily. So these auctions used to be held in person, now they're online. So I've heard stories of the auction house back in the day, all the fish guys there together. My grandfather, my dad would go there. So I've heard some war stories, to say the least, but now it's a lot easier, right? With technology, we're online in the morning. It starts at 6 o'clock. There's a New Bedford auction. there's an auction in Gloucester. So simultaneously we're buying fish from both auctions. But obviously the New Bedford auction, we can drive 10 minutes down the street and pick up what we bought for the day. First thing in the morning, bring it in, cut what needs to be cut for orders. We cut all of our fish in the morning for orders, so it's as fresh as possible. On a daily basis, there's no general, difficulties we run into. It's different every day. Throughout that process, there's a million things that could go wrong. We like to think we've seen them all, but we continue to see new ones every day. So it really just takes, a positive attitude and showing up to work, ready to go, and being ready for the obstacles. I mean, in seafood, if you talk to anyone who's been in the business, they'll tell you that it's unpredictable. I'm younger, I guess, in the seafood industry in general. So when I see some guys that have worked for even my great-grandfather that are still working for us today, it really puts things in perspective that not only is it my family's business, but the business itself is a family. I mean, we have Caldez, he's a fish cutter, he's Portuguese, he's 75 years old, he's worked for us for over 50 years, cutting fish. I see him every day, right, coming to work with a great attitude, hand cutting salmon every single day. Our mechanic, our maintenance guy, so to speak, his name's Jerry Costa. He's been with us about the same amount of time. He's 70-something years old. He's fixed countless machines, put up with my grandfather for years. God bless him for that. But yeah, I mean, just listening to these guys, hearing their stories about the old days, it's a completely different world back then than it is now. And not to say it's better or worse, it's just perspective. And I think that's really important to listen and focus on as, someone who's just getting into the business and has, the rest of his life ahead of him. It's important for me to take what I can from those guys and really apply it how I can today. I love being able to work with my family. Some people call me crazy, but I mean, at the end of the day, they're guys you can trust and they're gonna be there, they're gonna show up for you. They're going through the grind with you, so I mean, it's our lives, In addition to that, it's the team we have there beyond just the immediate family. Having such a strong staff that's going to show up for you again is what helps you get up in the morning. And just the daily challenges. I mean, you're not going in and just, filling out, spreadsheets or doing some tedious job all day. You're hands-on, you're taking care of customers, whatever that means, right? Whatever challenges arise, you're making sure you take those with a positive attitude and overcoming them and ultimately focusing on making your customer happy. I can go to bed every night 100% knowing that the product we're putting out there is not only healthy, clean, but it's also super nutritious. Seafood, like I said earlier, it's one of the only proteins out there that's left that's, wild caught. Being able to properly supply that for people is, it's a really cool thing. I'm proud of what I do and what we can do with our team and the family. Once I start thinking about it, I'm reminded that I really don't know where things are gonna go. So just continuing to do what we do and I think with what I've learned so far, and I know I haven't done it quite as long as the rest of these guys, but if you just do something the best you can every single day, no matter what it is, ultimately you're gonna be successful. So as a focus for me and my team, I try to tell them that this at the same time is just, as long as everyone's coming in here and doing their job to the best of their abilities and truly caring for what they're doing, we're going to be successful. I don't know what that means 5 years from now, 10 years from now, but I know it's going to mean we're successful if that's what we're doing every day. So I think that's the main focus, thinking forward.